Good evening, everyone. With the posted time having arrived and a quorum of members present, I'll call the Finance Committee for Tuesday, March 12, 2019 to order. The first item of business on our agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes from our previous meeting from 2/26 of 19, copies of which are in the packets. Any revisions or corrections needed to those minutes? If not, a motion to approve is appropriate. A motion by Kelbach. Is there a second? Second by Smith. Members in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None are opposed. Minutes are approved. Item number 2 is discussion and possible action on an alleged claim for recovery of unlawful tax. Petitioner is Sterling Water Incorporated. You've got some information in your packets on that, and we also have the city assessor with us, Rick Rubo. Rick, if you'd like to come up and, I guess, just give us a little bit of background. I believe our traditional practice on these claims when they come to the Finance Committee is that our general mandate is to disallow them so that the dispute process can play itself out. Is this one of those?
Yes, this is. We received a blank personal property form for 2018, requested information in regards to the assets located in the city of Wausau. Assets were provided, and based on the asset descriptions, an assessment was determined. Now, with the filing, this filing for unlawful tax needed to be filed by January 31st with Tony, the city clerk. It did not meet the statutory obligation of that date. It was actually filed on February 1st. Due to that, I would recommend this board or the Finance Committee to deny the claim.
Okay. And then the alternate remedies would have to play themselves out then accordingly?
That's correct.
Okay. Committee members, do you have any questions for Rick regarding this situation? I know we've had these from a few others in past years. If your desire is to disallow the claim, we would take a motion in the affirmative, and then everyone who wishes to disallow would then vote no.
I move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Kelbach. Then members in favor signify by saying aye. Members opposed, vote no. No. Let the record show that that item has failed unanimously. Item number 3, discussion and possible action on approving an offer for Phase 2 of the Thomas Street Reconstruction Project. This one is for parcel 52 at 226 Thomas Street. We don't have this item proposed for closed session at all. Does anyone have questions, though? We've got our land acquisition folks with us this evening, as well as Public Works Director Lindman. Does anyone have questions on this item? If not, is there a motion to approve? Motion by Martins. Is there a second? Second by Smith. Members in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None are opposed. That motion carries. Item number 4 is discussion and possible action on approving a revised offer for Phase 2 of the Thomas Street Reconstruction Project for parcel 27 at 1107 Cleveland Avenue. Same situation here. You've got the materials in the packets. Does anybody have questions, though, for our acquisition experts on this item? If not, is there a motion then to approve this one as well? Motion by Kelbach. Is there a second? Second by Nutting. Further discussion or questions? Seeing none, members in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None are opposed. That item carries. Item number 5 is discussion and possible action regarding a 2019 budget modification for concrete improvements for $340,000. And we've got some materials in our packets on that item as well. Let me just take a quick look here. Get my agenda to follow. Okay.
So,
go ahead, Marianne.
Generally speaking, we would be presenting this to you with our carryover resolution, which we usually do towards the end of March. So we're not quite done with that work, but because engineering is interested in getting these bids out early so that they can get the most competitive price, they ask that we submit this early versus late, because then they know they have the budget. If you recall, we recently did the same thing for asphalt overlay. Is that
Yes.
what it was for? Yeah. For the same reason, so that they could get that bid out. So annually, we look at the expenses versus the budget for, in this case, 2018. There were several projects that came in under budget or left funds available, and as it is disclosed in the resolution, because of doing First Avenue and Thomas Street and some of the other Town Line Road, there was no provision in the 2019 budget to do concrete improvements, so this will be the only funding that we have for concrete improvements, and that's when they cut out a section of the concrete.
Like joint repair?
Right, and I think, as we drive around town, we can see that there is some pretty desperate need for concrete improvements. So this would be our funding source for
Pretty
2019.
rough. I mean, even with this recent warm-up, there's a few major streets that, I mean, they're out now with cold mix, but,
Right.
when it starts to really melt, that isn't going to hold either, so.
These
So-
are the main artery type streets like Stewart Avenue, which has concrete,
Yeah.
that part, as well as First and Third, which are high,
Yeah.
heavy traffic.
Sixth is pretty bad. I mean, there's a lot of,
But
there's some,
That has I don't know if it has a concrete right there that has a asphalt overlay on it,
I
but
don't know. The worst part is from Scott to Bridge. It looks like that whole street is pretty much Swiss cheese, just within the last month or so. It's pretty rough, so.
And in this situation, this would come from funds on hand, so we wouldn't be increasing our debt issuance for it.
That's also good news. Does anyone have questions for Mary Ann or for Eric?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Dennis.
question. I have one question. Is this strictly for streets, right? We're going to be
Yes.
doing on the streets? Okay, well, let's should take a look at 17th Avenue, just north of Stewart. If you want to feel like a bobblehead doll, drive down that, and
Isn't
You'll-
that, that's
you'll
rough
feel like
too.
one,
That's
yeah.
starting to look like Business 51 coming from Schofield. It's
Yeah.
pretty rough,
it's
so.
bad.
Yeah, it is, indeed.
I think that one might be in a
That one might
case
be a
all
little
by
worse. I'm just
itself.
saying, we're
And
inching up on it.
That's Schofield's, not
We're inch-
Wausau. Let's
For
get that
comparative
clarified.
purposes, we're inching up, so. Do we have a motion then to approve the repurposing of the savings toward concrete repair?
I'll make that motion, Madam
We
Chair.
have a motion by Nutting. Is there a second? Second by Smith. Further discussion or questions? Seeing none, members in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye?
Aye, opposed? None are opposed. That item is also approved. That brings us to the end of our agenda. So with that, a motion to adjourn would be appropriate. Motion by Smith, second by Kelbach. Members in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? No one's ever opposed. All right, we'll stand adjourned, and City Council will then convene in this chamber at 6:30, since their normal meeting time has changed. Thank you.